Alright, my name is Logan and I'm going to be interviewing my dad.
Hi, I'm John Fuller.
And I'm going to be asking you some questions. How did you choose your career?
My current career as a defense contract management agency industrial specialist wasn't my original career choice, but through the military, I ended up going down that road. My original career path was to go into the Air Force.
Okay. Did you start with a career plan? If so, how did you create your plan? If not, why not?
My career plan, it wasn't traditional career plan like I was trying to become an engineer or go to college and land a professional career that way. It was more, uh, my brother was in the Air Force and ended up getting a good technical job through that, and that was something that I wanted to do. And I knew the Air Force had some of the best technical training. And at my age, I wasn't ready for college, and I felt the military was going to be a good starting point for me. So that's why I went into the Air Force and did 4 years of active duty that way, which took me down another road of uh, Air Force Reserve, and then being Air Force Civil Service, and then what I'm doing now with the Defense Contract Management Agency.
What was your education/training path?
My education, I later went to college and did my bachelor's and my master's, but my training path for that was going to the military enlisted. You don't have to have college education to get in unless you're going to become an officer. Going enlisted, they provide the training, so I was uh, lucky that I had that opportunity, and I went through a tech school once I got out of basic training, and trained me to be a radio technician.
Were there events in the region or the world that helped your career decision, and how?
Prior to me going in the 90s, there was Desert Storm 1, but there wasn't any major war at the time. There was still things going on overseas in the Middle East, but there wasn't any significant event until 9/11, which is where I went back to active duty with the Air Force. But as far as when I went into the military, no, nothing at that time major that swayed me to go to the Air Force.
What are some of the best experiences you have had in your career, and why?
Some of the best experiences and also the worst experiences are from the deployments, going overseas to Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, different places like that for my Air Force mission. Uh, they're always tough. There's hostile environment, but some of the best stuff that you have from that is the brotherhood that you make with the people that you deploy with, the men and women. But it's a family feel that you get living day by day with those people deployed doing that mission, and you never get that when you're in an environment being like an engineer or an architect or marketing in a major company. So that's some of the best stuff that I've experienced, and the places I've been on the way have been great.
What were some of the difficulties you encountered, and how did you overcome them?
The separation from your family and missing things that are at home, those are always difficult. You try to communicate as much as possible through email and telephone, and nowadays it's great because you have social media. Back in the 90s, my first few deployments, you only had two 15-minute phone calls a week that you could make, so it was tough to stay connected and feel like you were really in touch. Email was there, but it's not the same as making a call or even Skype, the video conferencing that you can do now.
What were you doing at my age to prepare for your career?
At your age, the biggest thing that I was trying to do was stay out of trouble, but I also, working, being in the military, you have to know how to work, follow orders, be relied on, and the jobs that I got when I was 15 and a half, 16, were building on that. They were teaching me responsibility and following instruction and working as a team, relying on other people I worked with. But sports also, that was something that I think helped me and gave me the confidence that I needed for going into the military.
What could you have done differently before high school graduation to help you prepare for your career?
Something that I wish I would have done before I went into the military was actually followed through on more college and went in and became an officer first rather than enlisted. That, or maybe spend a little bit more time uh, preparing so that it was a shorter transition time to become an officer once I was in the Air Force. Maybe do 2 years of college and then only have 2 years when I'm in, and then get commissioned. But I didn't do that, and for going back, that would be something I would have done now.
What advice would you give to someone beginning a career similar to yours?
That exactly. To if you're going to go in the military, if you can, if you have the financial means and the discipline, go through college and then become commissioned and go in as an officer. Uh, for one, you may not be able to do school once you're in, depending on your career path, and it may push off until you're 30, 35, and you can benefit a lot by getting that done earlier on, getting it out of the way. Also, you may go through college and realize that there's other doors that you want to go through, not the military. So getting the college out of the way may change your career path. And if you can afford it and you have the time and the discipline, do it.
Now, that's all the questions I have for today. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you.